We are very fortunate to have in our midst Neetika Sethi and Pooja Soni. They will make us aware of our own inner power and embrace the magic within us. Neetika and Pooja will guide us through practical and proven ways to create a life that is balanced and fulfilling. This will enable all of us to heal from physical ailments, along with releasing emotional pain, financial blocks, anxiety issues, relationship issues, as well as addictions. Both of them will have conducted sessions on life coaching counseling, Reiki, angel therapy, Ho'oponopono, and EFT. This evening, they will be talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness liberates the soul and unwraps hidden magic. It is a gift that you give yourself. When you forgive, two souls are set free. It is the first and most important tool in the ladder of spirituality. Let's consciously forgive, forget, and spread love and light everywhere. Thank you, Pooja and Neetika, to give us this valuable information.
Thank you so much, Sharmila. Now it's over to Pooja and Neetika. It's over to the two of you.
Good evening. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for having us over on this platform. And we'll take you through a very important topic of forgiveness, as I feel forgiveness is our first step to embracing our spiritual side. Because when I started my journey, the amount of peace that I achieved, I progressed to, was just by working on forgiving myself and forgiving the people, the circumstances, and the incidents, the episodes in my life which I was holding on to. So my biggest breakthrough in life came from just practicing forgiveness. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not very easy to forgive everyone and yourself all the time, but yet it's a big step. And I would like everybody to, take up this action of forgiveness, of consciously forgiving people and the situations in your life for your own betterment and growth. So what do you think is true forgiveness? With all the study that I've been doing and whatever experiences I've been gathering, and I perceive that forgiveness is just letting go of the hope that anything in your past could have been any different. It's just accepting whatever happened in your past was meant to be, and you cannot change it. You cannot go back to the past and undo it. So a beautiful way of remaining in the present is by letting go the past. We hear from a lot of people that let go, let it go, let it go. It's not easy to let it go, but yet I would not say it's not easy. It is easy, but when it's not easy for us to make up our mind to let something go, we start identifying with that bitterness, that pain so much that we forget, we stop identifying with the whole personality of ours, the healed personality of ours that has forgiven and moved on in life. And why would you want to be the one who's forgiving? What happens is when you don't forgive, when you remain stuck in a pain, when you remain stuck in any kind of incident from the past, you are working from a very restricted matrix. You're just operating from pain, a lot of negative emotions. There's a lot of negative emotional charge attached to a situation, to a person, and we just restrict ourselves in that ball of negativity and we function from that. Whereas once you forgive, once you let go, you just reach a new side of your life. You're gonna just, once you let go, you're gonna tap into so much potential, and that is the side of your life that is waiting for you. It's full of freedom. once you let go of all the past stories, past trauma, past nuisances that you've been through, you are crossing the line and you're moving on to a lot of freedom, liberation. So, I don't know what is the glitch with the. So, if you really want to move forward in life, you have to
kindly mute yourself. There are a few people who haven't muted themselves. Aniket, kindly mute them. Yes, you can go ahead.
So if you're really feeling stuck in life and you're feeling that nothing is really working out, you've created a lot of disease in your life, you've created a lot of stagnancy in your life as far as your relationships are concerned, as far as your relationships are concerned, as far as your money area is concerned, there's a lot of forgiveness that you need to practice. This is the best and the most effective tool when you just have to just figure out. Take a deep breath. Whenever you're stuck in life, when you're stuck in a relationship, when you're stuck in any area of your life, all you have to do is take a deep breath and just analyze what is it that you need to forgive about yourself or about a situation. And why I say that there are two sides of forgiveness is one side is totally stuck. You're very, in a very stagnant position. Whereas when you move to the other side of forgiveness, you explore a lot of freedom. You make peace with yourself and you start feeling worthy and deserving. So when you're feeling stuck in life, that's because you've not forgiven something from your past and you're looking at everything and you're either feeling guilty or you're feeling shame or you're feeling uneasy about something and you're sabotaging yourself and you're declaring yourself as unworthy. You lack self-worth. Whereas when you start forgiving yourself or the people around you for the things, you start operating from a more positive mindset and you start operating with a lot of self-worth and a lot of positive approach starts setting in. So it's totally your choice by implementing this tool of forgiveness. You want to turn around your life or you want to remain stuck in the past. And when you forgive someone, it's not a favor you're doing to someone. It's a favor you're doing to yourself. It's a gift you need to give yourself by forgiving whoever needs to be forgiven, or if you need to forgive yourself for something that happened in the past and you need to move on. So give yourself this gift, liberate yourself from this program, that something, that you need to be stuck with it or you need to hold on to an anger or a grudge, because then when you start operating from those mindsets, you remain stuck in those patterns and you can't create your future. So it's very clear, if you want to create your future of any kind, you want to create material manifestations, or you want to grow spiritually, or you want to work on your relationships or any such area, the first thing you have to do is start forgiving. Forgiving is the best way of picking up all the negatives that are there in your life and accepting them, learning your lessons, and moving forward. What happens is when a person meets with an accident and the person is maybe going through a surgery or there's like a wound in the body, and I mean, these are big examples. Even if you consider a person who's just going through a regular viral or any kind of a thing, what happens when the doctor puts you under treatment for the surgery? You're taking medicines for the surgery, you're taking medicines for the viral or any kind of painkillers and stuff like that you start taking due to any kind of injury. What happens? Automatically we feel that the digestive system has started collapsing. Does it happen with everyone that the digestive system starts getting affected? The doctor puts us on a lot of antacids and a lot of probiotics and all, because we are taking a lot of medicine for the pain, for the infection, for the viral, and for everything. But do you really know what happens? All the energy that the body needs to heal from that viral, just all the energy gets diverted to that healing, to that injury, to that surgery. Your body has a certain amount of energy which it's using for its everyday work and for healing. So whenever there's an injury or whenever there's a pain or an infection, all the energy of the body gets diverted to that particular healing. And then the digestive system and all the systems of your body that happen subconsciously start getting affected. And we always term it as a side effect of the medicine. Similarly, when you have an emotional wound, all your energy, all your thoughts, all your feelings, always go and tend to that wound first. So when you are putting all your energy tending to the wound, can you use that energy for any positive creation in your body? Can you use that energy for any kind of positive creation in your body? You cannot. So that's why when you have a stuck wound in your body, an emotional wound or any kind of a wound, you need to process it, to process positive emotions in your body. Whenever there's a negative emotion stuck in your body, it's going to soak up all your energy. So if you want to use up your energy in a positive manner, you have to address the negatives first. If you just bypass it, no, I'm not angry, I'm not angry with the person, so I don't need to forgive. That's the biggest problem you can create in your body. That's where you start manifesting a lot of disease in your body. Whenever you start building up negative emotions in your body, that's where you start manifesting a lot of disease and a lot of stuckness and rigidity in your body. So it's
We
very
can't
important.
see you. Do you think you could put your video on?
Yeah, I had put it on, but I don't know, put it off. So I thought maybe there's some signal issue. Can you see me now?
Yeah, we can see you better. Thanks.
So, am I clear? I can't see any faces as such. So, am I clear? Did everybody really understand the concept of the wound and the negative energy? That what happens, how your energy gets diverted?
Yes,
Thank you.
we are clear, visible and
Yes,
audible
thank you.
also.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Everything is fine.
Great. So, why do you need to forgive? One is you need to heal the negative emotion, the negative wound in your body so that you can create a positive in your body. You need to forgive so that you can move on, let go, and create more in your body. You need to create space in your body to receive something. So many of us are, working with law of attraction and a lot of such manifestation techniques. And yet we are complaining that I've been praying, I've been using law of attraction, and I've been doing all these things, and yet nothing has got created in my life. Why did it not get created? Because you have to create space in the vessel of your body to receive more. We have just got all negative drama trapped in our body. So where is the place for us to receive what we want to manifest? So forgiving is the one and only tool which sets your foundation for loving yourself, for declaring yourself worthy, or for creating space in your life for receiving anything positive and abundant. Only when you let go of past traumas and past incidences or even spiteful things that people said to you, only then can you create positive experiences in your life. Everybody is coming to your life to teach you a lesson. And what do we do in turn? We start playing the blame game. When we are blaming, what are we doing? We are resisting the learning of a lesson that that person is trying to teach us. What happens when you resist? You keep repeating the same incidents again and again and again. And later, as you grow older, they keep coming back to you in bigger and more denser forms for you to deal with. So treat every mistake of yours or anybody else in your world as a lesson. Learn the lesson out of it, treat it as a victory, and move on in life. Why are we remaining stuck in the past by not forgiving a person? Everybody came here to teach us a lesson. So if you've been blaming anyone, please take a note of that. If you've been blaming anyone in your life so far, what have you done? You made them the powerful person in your life. Whereas when you take responsibility, you become the powerful person and you have the power to turn things around. You have the power to change things around. So it's totally in your hand to either remain a victim or to become the powerful operant power in your life to turn things around. So stop being the blamer. Bless the situation that you're getting compelled to blame. Stop acting the victim. The minute you start blessing the situation, it's going to release from your body. It's going to release from your life. If there's a financial crisis, if there's a emotional crisis, a problem with your relationships, any kind of issues with your health, try and ask your body that what is it trying to teach me? Bless the situation, thank it, express gratitude for it to show up in your life, and learn the lesson and release it. It does not come very easily that every time you're willing to learn the lesson. It does take a little practice, but yes, I want all of you to become aware that if a certain situation is showing up in our life, it's showing up for us to learn a lesson. So as you learn the lesson, as you bless the situation, automatically your energy changes, the lens with which you see the situation changes, the lens with which you see the person changes, and automatically the person starts responding to how you feel about the situation. And it's a 100% effective method that the minute you take responsibility, things start turning out in your favor. The universe, the divine conspires to help you and support you. All you have to do is set an intention. So how do you forgive? The first thing you have to do is you have to set an intention. You have to tell the universe, I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to release this situation. And as you will set an intention to forgive a person, the universe will start aligning everything for you to start forgiving that person. So one of the very effective prayers for forgiving a person is, you can just imagine a person standing in front of you. You can close your eyes and imagine a person standing in front of you, or a situation in front of you. And you can tell that person that, yes, I was hurt. It did hurt me. It did bother me when you did this to me. I'm not denying that. But I'm ready to see the more of you. I'm ready to see the true self, your true self, the more loving, kind, compassionate self, because I know you're bigger than this. You're much more than this. So I'm ready to release whatever I felt in that situation. Again, you're taking responsibility. You're saying you're ready to release what you felt in that situation at that moment. I think I'll just turn on the video after 2 minutes again. There's a problem with the network. So you're ready to release that situation. So you say, I accept that you hurt me at that moment. I was hurt at that moment. I accept it. I'm ready, but yet I'm ready to let you go, and you don't owe me anything. And when you say you don't owe me anything, it means that you're making peace with the fact that that person does not owe you an apology. There is no condition attached that this person has to do a certain thing, certain way for you to make peace with it. So when you truly forgive someone, you let go of the need of receiving an apology from that person. You let go of the need of any condition. At times we forgive a person, we say that, okay, I'll forgive this person, XYZ person, provided he does this for me. True forgiveness does not come with conditions. When you have truly forgiven someone, there'll be no emotional charge. You will not get triggered by the mention of that incident, of that person, or any such situation, a similar situation. There'll be no emotional charge. Till the time there's an emotional charge, there has to be a release. There has to be certain amount of forgiveness that is missing from our side. So to liberate yourself from that captivity, that hostage. Till you don't forgive a person, what are you? You're a hostage to that person. That person has held you captive with his thoughts, with your emotions. Don't you think so? So the minute you let go of the situation, you're letting go of that captivity. You're not a prisoner to that person anymore. Nelson Mandela had very nicely said that when you practice unforgiveness, it's like you are drinking the poison and you're expecting the other person to die. So when you forgive someone, you give a gift to the other person and you get the benefit. So forgiveness is that healing when you give the medicine to the other person, but you receive the healing. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that powerful that you're giving a medicine to the other person and you are receiving the healing? So that's precisely what Nelson Mandela said, that do not expect the other person, yourself to drink the poison and the other person to die. So forgive the other person so that you let go of the bitterness, you don't drink the poison, and you just release the other person. There's a lot of lesson learning that we have all come to this universe for, come to this world for. So with as much grace as we accept the lesson learning, easier the journey becomes. The more resistance we show, the tougher the lessons become. So I mean, let go of your resistance, surrender to the universe. The universe is a very abundant, very friendly space, which has been supporting us all throughout this, lifetime of ours. Why will it not support us any further? So the problem is we like to operate with a lot of control and authority. That's why we're not willing to forgive. Or most of the times, we're not willing to forgive because we're not willing to acknowledge that a part of us has been hurt. How will you heal a problem until you don't acknowledge that it's there? If you're having a headache and you don't accept you have a headache, how will you take the medicine for the headache? So similarly, treat your bitter emotion as that headache. Acknowledge it that yes, I have this bitter thought. I have this feeling of unforgiveness for this XYZ person, and I am ready to acknowledge that I have this bitter feeling and I'm going to work towards releasing it. It's only when you acknowledge the headache, when you acknowledge the bitter feeling, can you take the medicine for it. Until you don't acknowledge it, you cannot take the medicine for it. And you need to take the medicine because you have to create that space for manifesting your life. You have to let go of the past and you have to create the space to receive anything abundant in your life. So treat every forgiveness as a big victory, as a big lesson learned. So now I again want to tell you one more perspective which really resonated with me was, I don't remember the author where I read it, but I read a very nice, Oprah Winfrey had once shared that what happens when you have a wound and you keep bandaging it over and over again. You have a cut or a scar, and without treating it properly, if it needs to be stitched up or if there needs to be some more medication done and you bandage it, what is going to happen? It's going to bleed and stain the bandage. So this is precisely what happens when you have an emotional wound, when you are hurt, or when you're hurt, when you're upset with your own self, when you're guilty about something. Or you wear a mask of bravery that no, I'm not hurt and all is well and there's no problem, and you bandage it with a mask of being, of all being well in your world. What happens? The wound is still inside. Once the wound is there, it's going to bleed somewhere. It's going to leave a stain in another area of your life. Guilty, and if you've not forgiven yourself for a mistake you made in the past, that stain is going to show up in every area of your life. So it's very important for you to let go of the past, forgive yourself, be kind and to yourself. Except you will, as a child, or maybe 6 months earlier, you were not aware and you did not know a better way to handle the situation. So you are willing to let it go. But now you have the awareness, you have the consciousness to take action and forgive yourself and redeem yourself. You have a certain situation showing up in your life, like if your child, or if, let's say if with your spouse you're having an argument about a certain situation, and the same situation is coming up every 3 months, every 6 months, and every time you're lashing out on each other, both of you are having a fight, and then you're angry with yourself for that fight. What happens? The same kind of pattern and behavior keeps getting repeated over and over again, until one day you acknowledge to yourself that I'm upset with myself, or I'm not happy with the way I react with this situation. So I'm ready to acknowledge that I reacted, or I overreacted, or I fought with my spouse for no rhyme or reason. I could have handled it better. The minute you will acknowledge it to yourself that you were wrong in a certain situation, and you tell yourself that, okay, I'm willing to acknowledge that I was wrong. I'm somewhere holding a lot of guilt inside me, a lot of resentment inside me for this situation. I'm ready to let go of it. I'm ready to forgive myself for that situation, or for the way I reacted in that situation. What happens? The minute that awareness sets in, you will redeem yourself the next time a similar situation happens. The next time a similar argument starts showing up, you will have a voice in your head telling you that, okay, Pooja, that's not how you're supposed to react. I will then get a chance to redeem myself. And you can redeem yourself in every situation. It's not that you can't redeem yourself. You can redeem yourself in every situation. So make that, conscious awareness, conscious choice to first of all accept that you've been wrong somewhere. And now you don't have to go into a guilt trip that you were wrong with something. You just have to acknowledge to yourself that, okay, I was wrong. I did not know a better way to handle the situation, but now I know it. So I forgive myself for that situation. I forgive myself for being in that situation, for the way I handle it. And from now on, I promise to try to react to it in a better way. And gradually, with your few efforts, the situation will change. You know, it takes 15 times for you to change a subconscious program of yours. So if you consciously can start reacting to a situation for 15 times, like if you're, you know, getting triggered by a certain behavior of a person, it could be one person's behavior or 10 people, maybe somebody at office, you know, if they display a certain behavior and you get triggered. So for 15 times, if you consciously decide not to react in a certain way, you have reprogrammed your subconscious, you've let go of a pattern, you've had a major breakthrough. And these are the breakthroughs that are going to be your stepping stones in your spiritual journey, in your accepting every part of yourself. And now again, one more thing I want to tell you is, you know, when you're trying to move forward in life, when you're trying to move ahead in life, when you're trying to work towards your spiritual growth, or maybe, you know, you're trying to create anything, maybe you're trying to make a house, you're trying to set up a business or any such thing. What happens when you're moving forward in your journey? If you're carrying a lot of grief, lot of anger, lot of all the negative energies, what happens? You're just carrying a lot of baggage. You're just making your journey, you're just making your steps slower. What is the difference when you are walking or when you're running without luggage and with luggage? You are faster without the luggage. So if you want to move forward in your spiritual journey, in your quest for, you know, making peace, staying more peaceful, more calm, all the self-work that you do, all these, you know, practices, prayers, everything that you do, what is the way to make yourself lighter and make your journey, you know, more easy? To let go of all the emotional baggage. Don't become a emotional Sherpa. Sherpa is a person who carries baggage on the mountains. So don't become an emotional Sherpa and make your journey and steps slower, and you're dragging yourself. Don't do that, that you're dragging yourself with all the luggage in your journey forward. Let go, leave the baggage behind. It showed up at a certain time for you to learn a certain lesson. And again, now then we go back to, is that resonating with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Now again, there's a very interesting aspect, that what to forgive. What to forgive. You know, we have a problem of getting involved in a lot of drama of a lot of people. We have a habit of getting involved in a lot of, you know, when we have certain friendships and all, one friend, you know, a friend A is not very, you know, cordial with friend B. So what happens when friend A is not cordial with friend B? Supposing A is a better friend of mine, I automatically just pick up the pattern that because A is not happy with B, so I am also not going to be happy with B. So don't get involved in people's drama. Identify what is it that you need to forgive. Are you genuinely unhappy with your friend B? Or is it the fact that A gets hurt with B's behavior and that is what hurts? Okay, let me give it with another example. Supposing there is my friend Sita and my friend Geeta. They get into an argument every day because Geeta says very spiteful things to Sita. But because I love Sita, I get very angry with Geeta. So what do? I start talking rudely to Geeta, and I'm so resentful towards her that there's a bout of anger showing up in me with the mention of Geeta. So what am I doing? I'm just building up a lot of negative emotion. So if I am told to forgive this situation, what am I supposed to forgive? I'm supposed to forgive that part of me that hurts when I see my friend Sita hurts. So in any given situation, start forgiving the person or the situation for how it affected you. Don't just pick up, you know, everything and say that I have to forgive for this one, I have to forgive for this one. Please just start taking responsibility for how in your world is it affecting you. Instead of just jumping into the whole drama that I'm very angry with everyone. No, Just identify that what out of the situation is paining for you, how is it affecting you, and then you forgive that person for that thing. That I forgive Sita for hurting my friend, I forgive Geeta for hurting my friend Sita. So you have to really identify that what is it that you need to forgive, and what part of you is it that was hurting. So with every person that you show your anger to, identify that what is it that they made you feel that was hurting. The minute you start identifying that what part the person who said something nasty to you hurt, that is your lesson. If a person said some mean things to you and you felt you were not good enough, so that being good enough is your mirror that you need to forgive, identify, and heal. And what do we end up doing instead? We end up just masking that that person is not kind to me. We just take away the focus. Instead of focusing on what is the forgiveness, every situation in your life, every person in your life has come into your journey for you to forgive something. It's very clear. So especially your loved ones, maybe your spouses, your children, the people who you deal with every day, these are the people that are your biggest spiritual teachers, and these are the people you need to forgive the most. And the one person that you need to forgive the most is nobody but you yourself. When we sit down to introspect ourselves or identify ourselves, we realize that we are the most upset with our own self. So start identifying that what is it that you're upset with yourself for, what is it that you want to forgive yourself for, because only when you will forgive yourself will you ever consider yourself worthy and deserving of anything greater and larger in life. So if you're stuck in any area, any relationship area, you're not able to manifest a cordial relationship with any specific family member of yours, you're stuck in a financial area, any money of yours is stuck, you're stuck in any kind of health that of mine that needs forgiveness, so that I feel worthy and deserving of receiving the abundance and the better positive sides of life. So many times, because we have not forgiven ourselves, we declare ourselves to be unworthy and undeserving of a lot of abundance and goodness and riches in life. That's where we are stuck. Anything become a thing, you showing up in your family members, anybody, they are here for you to clear some passage, do some lesson learning for them, and forgive a part of you, and for you to forgive a part of yourself. So the only way to start, if you want to begin your life now, no matter how old you are, is to start the process of forgiveness. A very famous person, John Pastor Gray, he once shared that I forgave my father, and he shared with a fellow friend that I forgave my father in spite of the fact that I had just met my father 4 times in my life. So he said, how did you have the heart to forgive your father who you just met 4 times in your life? He said, I forgave my father because he gave me a very big lesson from his life. I learned the lesson from him, that what it is to remain disconnected from your loved ones. So I learned the lesson to be there for my loved ones, to not to be with my love, to not to punish myself by distancing myself from my loved ones. He said, my father set that example in front of me, that how painful it is to deprive your loved ones of your presence. So by staying away from my life, he taught me the lesson of being there for my loved ones, being there for my children, being there for my family. Isn't that big? And Wayne Dyer shared that his father had walked out from the responsibility of 3 children and 23-year-old mother, and he said, I forgave my father, and as I forgave my father, I lost all my weight. He had a lot of weight issue initially. He said the only way I lost my weight was by forgiving my father. So if there is anybody who's stuck in any kind of addiction, and I just don't mean an addiction of alcohol or drugs or anything, even an addiction of playing a victim, an addiction of worrying all the time, an addiction of feeling left out, feeling lonely, an addiction to feel sad, an addiction to need something to complain in life, there's some kind of forgiveness that you need to practice. And if you're dealing with any kind of addiction, maybe addiction to eat sweet, addiction to overeat, addiction to keep cribbing all the time, keep sulking all the time, there's some amount of forgiveness you need to practice, and that's keeping you stuck. Because what happens is disease starts manifesting in your own body, so it's your own loss. When you continuously keep criticizing, you're going to become a patient of arthritis. When you hold a lot of resentment, you're going to just make a breeding ground for cancer. You'll become like the most potent environment for cancer to manifest in your body. When you keep operating out of fear and anger and jealousy, you lose your hair. You will manifest baldness. So various things, start happening in your body. Then if you start holding a lot of guilt, so you will start hurting yourself. I was just talking to someone a week back and she said, I keep burning myself. Every other day I burn myself while cooking. I have one small burn that goes away, one boil goes away, and after 2 days I burn myself. She said, I burn myself in my kitchen every alternate day. And all she had was a lot of guilt stored inside her. So if you're prone to a lot of injuries, people who get a lot of frequent fractures, a lot of bone injuries, they fall down, twist their ankle, cut their finger, any kind of, these kind of small injuries that keep coming up every day. Again, it's coming because you have not forgiven yourself. So forgiveness is so important. It just takes away the essence from your life. So if you're really saying that you want to, if we, at times, so many times we hear people say that I'm looking for my purpose in life. I don't know what my purpose in life is. So your purpose in life, if you're looking for your purpose in life, start forgiving people and you'll find your purpose. You'll find the way to your journey in life. It's the biggest breakthrough you can give yourself, to start forgiving and to find your purpose. And again, if you're coming from a place of rage and vengeance, like when you say that, okay, I forgive this person, but I want to take this revenge, or I want to set this person right, or I want to do such a thing, again, there is lack of forgiveness. So there's a, huge possibility that when you sit down and you genuinely analyze and you set an intention to the universe that I want to forgive, you're going to be able to, again, get a breakthrough. And so it's my invitation to all of you to start taking up the practice of forgiving. Start introspecting. If you feel that you're stuck in any area of your life, look at every mistake as your teacher, learn your lesson, treat your lesson as your victory, and move on in life. If we are on this planet, we've been given this life, we were meant to face it. I know certain challenging situations come up, we get very angry, and then maybe we feel guilty. It's not very easy to accept every negative situation and person with gratitude and say that, okay, this person is here for the lesson, for teaching me a lesson, but let's do it because it's for our own higher good. Until and unless we forgive someone, we're not going to stop drinking that poison. And to stop drinking that poison and for you to bloom and thrive in life, you have to let go of it. You have to forgive a person, place, situation, and above everything, yourself. So it's my invitation to all of you to start forgiving and start, and begin to live your life. And don't forgive people out of peer pressure. We've been taught to forgive people out of peer pressure, that certain friends, certain family members ask us to forgive, so we should forgive. Or we end up forgiving because, we were told that good people forgive and don't hold grudges. Let that not be your guideline for forgiving people. Let forgiveness be for your own selfish purposes, because you know that your life will start thriving only once you start forgiving. So forgiving is the first step to your spiritual journey. Bring it on, take up all the lessons, and I assure you, my life changed once I started forgiving myself and the people around me, and so will yours. So if any questions or anything, you can type it in the chat, or when we take up the Q&A, anything that you want to talk about, we can take it up in the Q&A. And I would invite Neetika to... Yeah.
You can ask any questions. Are there any questions before we go on to the next speaker. Any questions, anyone? I don't think there are, so we'll carry on. Okay, it's over
Okay,
to
so
Neetika.
then over to Neetika for the meditation. So Neetika, please take us forward.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hoping you've enjoyed the little talk we had on forgiveness. Now, before we begin, am I audible?
You can be a little louder.
Okay. Before we
Yeah, your
begin,
voice is a bit soft, so maybe you have to speak a little louder.
Louder, yes.
okay, I want you all to think of a person or a situation that bothers you, irritates you, that you have been holding on for a while. I want everyone to please just think of a situation. Close your eyes. Think of a situation. Has everybody got a situation or a person in their mind? Now sit back, gently sit back, relax, close your eyes, make sure your back is straight, and we start to deep breathe. Gently close your eyes, and we start to deep breathe. Inhale and exhale. Just make sure your exhale is longer than your inhale. Inhale, exhale. Focus on your breathing. If anything is bothering you, I want you to please breathe it out completely. Relax. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Make sure that beautiful breath of yours is going to your cute little toes. Feel your entire body oxygenated. Completely relax. Feel that lightness. Now let's imagine roots growing out of our feet. Big long roots that are going deep inside and touching the core of Mother Earth. That are going deep, deep inside, पूरे अंदर तक जा रहे हैं, going and wrapping themselves around Mother Earth. Imagine those roots wrapping themselves to the core of Mother Earth, just like a baby wraps his arm around his mother. Hold it tight. Feel the anchoring. Now, with the help of your breath, start to pull the energy from Mother Earth. Feel that beautiful energy, that beautiful prana coming up. Entering from the soles of your feet. Slowly and gradually coming onto your ankles. Then your calves, knees, thighs. Feel the energy. Feel the beautiful energy coming up. Your pelvic area, your lower back, your stomach, your pancreas. Feel the divine energy around that area. Pancreas, your liver, your upper back, gallbladder, lungs. And gradually, it reaches your beautiful heart chakra. Feel the energy resting there, anchoring there, in self, anchoring itself in our anahata, our heart chakra. Our heart chakra has the biggest electromagnetic field. Feel the energy anchoring there, filling your heart chakra. Imagine a column of light coming from the heavens above, from the farther sky. and entering your crown chakra. Now coming down to your third eye. And now brightening up your beautiful face. And then coming down to our throat chakra. And then coming down into our beautiful, creative, divine healing hands. And finally, the beautiful energy from the Father Sky is merging with the energy in our heart chakra. Feel the expansion. Feel the expansion in your heart chakra. Feel the love oozing out. Feel the exuberance. The beautiful bright green color heart chakra, full of love and compassion and kindness. Now think of a person or a situation that is triggering you and something which happened many, many years ago but still hasn't left you. Even now when you think of it, it bothers you. Even if you feel that little tiny speck of it, it needs healing. That's why it's coming to the surface. Think of something that triggers you, bothers you, irritates you, and that you haven't been able to let go of. Now imagine that person standing right in front of you, or that situation. Also imagine a cord connecting your navel and the person's navel. Now let's call upon our gurus, our masters, our angels, our energetic support team, our spirit guides, our guardian angels. And with their help, we take a scissors or a knife and we cut that cord off. Within our heart, say, I cut, I heal, and I release you. Once more, I cut, I heal, and I release you. Now put that person or the situation in a beautiful golden ball or a balloon and hold it in your hands. Hold it in your palm. And start to give it all the love that is in your heart chakra. Now just say to it, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Once again, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Now with all the love and the healing from your heart chakra, release the ball or the balloon and see it fly far, far away, disappearing into the skies above. And say thank you. Say thank you to that ball. Thank you to that balloon. Thank you to that situation. Thank you to that person. Now feel the burden of your shoulders in your heart. Feel the negativity leave your body. And also forgive yourself for unknowingly holding on to it for so many years. Forgive yourself because you were not aware how damaging it would be. Forgive yourself for all the time and energy you invested onto it. Just say to yourself, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Feel the love for yourself. Now gently thank Mother Earth, Father Sky, our Guru, our masters, our angels, our spirit guides, our friends from the other realm who helped us in releasing this negativity that was keeping us trapped. Thank the known and the unknown. Now smile. Change the chemistry of your body because that very situation has left you and gone. Now smile. Hug yourself tight. And slowly you may open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So much. That was very nice. And I hope a lot of people were able to release and forgive now. Anything, or should we have a Q&A on it?
Yeah, I think we're open to Q&A.
All right. So if anyone has any questions, kindly put them in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask it. I think there's one in the chat box. Both of you can read it. And any one of you may answer it.
Process.
Process of forgiving and dropping the sinner from the mind to create space for one's own personhood to remain so selfish and weak, unless the sinner realizes the folly, lest the sinner and the power change.
Like to answer that?
Yeah, I'll answer that question. See, everybody's journey is their individual journey. When we come to this planet, we are our own responsibility. You can try and educate the other person, but you can't educate a person who's not willing to receive it from you. So a person who's making a mistake, I know at times you want to make the other person realize, but again, making that person realize is coming from a place of, you wanting to satisfy your ego. It's coming from a rage, but it's not coming from a place of compassion and kindness and love. Only when you operate from there are two basic main emotions. One is fear and one is love. So if you want to go forward in your journey of spirituality or your journey of life, you have to operate from the emotion of love and not out of fear. So whenever you are wanting to take vengeance or you're wanting the other person to realize their mistake, it's coming from a place of rage, vengeance, and ego. It's coming from a negative emotion. So you have to train yourself to forgive that person. And I don't know who asked that question, but when you have truly forgiven that person, your need to receive an apology from that person, your need for that person to realize they were wrong will be non-existent. So when there is a practice of true forgiveness, your ego-based need feeding is not needed. This is coming from a place of rage, vengeance, ego, and unsatisfied, and there's lack of forgiveness. It's only when there's lack of forgiveness, the need for the other person to realize their folly and mistake is there. When there's true forgiveness, you will not want that person to realize his or her mistake. It will not matter. It will not give you an emotional charge. And everybody's journey is their own individual journey. We're all here to take responsibility of ourselves and see how we respond to a situation, vis-a-vis reacting to a situation, that whether that person is operating in the ideal manner or not. Is that clear? See, what happens is, everybody, when you want to forgive someone, you have to convince your mind to practice more love and compassion. And how do you practice more love and compassion? A very nice way to implement compassion and love towards a person is by understanding that the environmental conditioning of that person was different than what yours is. What was right in your world might be wrong for that person in their world. or when they were raised, where what their caretakers provided them, what their parents provided them, what their environment provided them. So you need to start practicing more. Two siblings, the kind of conditioning a parent is able to give to two siblings is different. When there's one child, the child gets more attention, more financial resources, and at the time of the second child, maybe the financial resources of certain parents purge, they increase. But for some people, it's the same money being divided. So, you know, the first child, the way the first child was provided financially or emotionally or the physical presence of the parents is different than what it was provided for the second time. So when two children are different, two people ought to be different. So you have to convince yourself, train your mind and understand that yes, a person's environmental conditioning, childhood conditioning was different. So this person is like that. So I have to forgive and let go. And when you truly forgive and let go, that negative emotion or that need for that person to apologize or to realize the mistake will not be there. When there's true forgiveness, you don't want that person does not owe you anything. Is that clear? See, everybody has a different perspective. I totally respect your perspective, and I mean it's just a perspective and it's just awareness which we're sharing. But everybody is again free to practice whatever they resonate with. It's your personal choice what you want to implement and how you want to implement. I share my perspective, and I respect yours as well.
Thank you. Is there any other question?
I have a question, Sajani.
Oh, go ahead, Ramesh.
First of all, thank you, Pooja ji and Neetika ji. It was very nice. A very an evergreen topic. So I just wanted to understand your perspective, or rather your thoughts on this perspective. That quite often they say that when we have to forgive, especially the ones who we feel most wronged by in this life, at a soul level, they probably are the people who are closest to you, and they would have chosen to give you the maximum pain to support your growth as a soul, because you have to forgive and you'll have to move on. So what is your take on that?
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I feel our spouses, our parents, our children, they are our biggest spiritual teachers. Because the people who are closest to you are your biggest spiritual teachers. And when I look back in my life, I thank every person who was maybe unkind to me at a certain time or did not match my frequency at that time and created uncomfortable circumstances, because they've been my biggest teachers. Had they not put me out of my comfort zone at that time, I would have never chosen to learn those lessons and move forward in life. I would have still been stuck in the same dramas of people pleasing and the typical matrix that I was following earlier. So I totally resonate with it, that people who are in your closest circle are your biggest spiritual teachers. And that's why there are the biggest wars happening inside our homes. There's maximum unpleasantness with the people who we stay in at home. The minute we step out of our main doors, we are the kindest, softest people, happy to be with friends. And the minute we enter our homes, we become the most unkind, rude, unforgiving people, holding maximum bitterness and anger towards each other, whether it's our children, parents, spouses, or all the people, siblings, and so on and so forth. So I totally agree with that.
Thank you, Pooja ji.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, what I was trying to say, at the end of the day, it's like a soul group. We all choose to come together for our spiritual upgrade. There's a reason why all of us are connected and related, because by and large, the lesson learned is the same, and we choose to evolve together for for the upliftment of all, for a bigger, higher purpose. We've chosen each other. So this is just the conditioning ke ye aisa hai ya wo waisa hai. If you look at the bigger picture, we choose our parents. We have chosen our soul group for our upliftment and involvement.
Got that. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if we don't have any questions, then a very, very big thank you to both Pooja and Neetika for a lovely session. And I now ask Preeti Rupani to kindly propose the vote of thanks. Preeti?
Yeah. Hi. Thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pooja and Neetika. It has been wonderful talk and a great meditation. And you've thrown a light on for getting peace and joy, one needs to forgive. And it's for your own sake. Once you forgive, it's an easier life for you. And you can get rid of your emotional baggage and move on your spiritual journey. And that you've explained it very well. And it's great to see you girls at this age getting the truth so clear. You know, we learned at I can admit that I learned at a much later stage in my life, but I'm there too. Thank you so much for the lovely evening and the meditation, and your talk was lovely. Pooja, all the best to you girls.
Thank
and
you.
continue with your journey. It's wonderful.
Thank you to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we will end our program with the Loka Samasta.
Thank you, Sajani. So once again, Pooja ji and Neetika ji, thank you so much. This is an evergreen topic, and I think as long as Maya is there and as long as we are in this body, the need to forgive will keep repeating itself, and we have to pull ourselves above it. So on this note of gratitude, let us sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned. Take a deep breath and let go. Let us center ourselves and connect with each other as we chant the Loka Samasta. Let us also pray for all our loved ones, our friends and family and communities in these pandemic times for love, protection, and guidance. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.